stars. For the cream, renegade. For the money, Ole Green is the green. I'm a player on the late night tier, so they see the prototype. Fingertips.
We are just a stone's throw away from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as we get set for football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Cleveland Browns. This will be fielded at the 8. What a spin. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Lucky 56.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. He's got a man. Complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And that one results in 35 yards. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
He'll drop to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. In for the score. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. This crew, they were on a roll going into the bye week that they just had, Charles, so sort of picking up where they left off.
And you and I both know that when you come back off of an open week and you've been winning games, you should get a few extra days off in order to recharge and refuel. But coaches often hedge their bets, too. They'll bring them back and work them really hard that first practice back to make sure that they're back and grounded.
Whatever they did, formula looking good so far in this one. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
They keep it with Barkley on 1st down. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run.
There we go. Nice play, baby. Switch. Back 99 Philly. Here we go. Mike's 50.
Play action now. Here's Mayfield. Flush to his right. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave them trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the gun, Mayfield. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one.
Now a hit and a loose football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. Was hoping to make a play there on the return with his speed. Instead, he makes a play for the other side.
Yeah, and how many times have we heard coaches say, you know, sometimes it's not really about those X's and O's we draw up. It's about those Jimmies and Joes. And when you have a punt returner, he's one of those Jimmies and Joes, one of the best athletes. He's unable to make the play that they were seeking, though.
They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. He'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Able to slither by. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another 1st down.
And that's the big fella's M.O. right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Quan Alexander. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Call it a gain of 5 that time. They'll be left with a 3rd down and about 9 to go.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And he will bring this across midfield to the 49-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
On the toss, here's Foreman. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And this return's going to go backwards about 8 yards, but the interception is good, and they have the football. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Eric Kendricks in on the tackle.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Another run, this time McCaffrey. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Mayfield off the play fake. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. On 3rd down, Mayfield. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And now out comes Minnesota. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. It'll be a gain of 6, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit!
Back to throw here. Going deep for Diggs. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers.
a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at the 40. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's got his man in the crossing route. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. He got 29 yards that time.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Mayfield down. They'll drop it off to McCaffrey. Heck of a move, and then brought down near the 23. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Now a 2nd down throw for Mayfield. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Brian Poole, and he returns it here to his own 18-yard line.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown, and pick it off, just as we saw there.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 Gone!
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Going deep for Diggs. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Now a toss play. This is Foreman. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone! 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 Gone!
He'll look to throw. And he's going to be hit and driven into the turf.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down. Now Foreman. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And the punter's on the sideline. Here's the field goal unit now to try an exceptionally long one. 64 was Matt Prater's record. This would top that by a yard. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. So you had to figure that sooner or later someone was going to top Matt Prater's record of 64, and officially this one will go in the record books at 65.
You saw him lining up for this, and you just thought to yourself, you know, he could make this. And sure enough, to be here to see it, that's pretty darn awesome.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He's going to look for Allen now, and that's caught inside the 30. It's a big play there for the Browns. And even 50 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, brings me right out of my seat.
Here's a give to Barkley. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A first red zone opportunity for the Browns thus far. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9. Throwing, Mayfield. The quick slant cut. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. As his guys are in for 6. And the Browns have cut it back within a score. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Now it's Lucky Whitehead on the return. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Two minutes remain here in the first half. More from Cleveland after this.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Looking to throw. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Green 39. Green 39.
They'll look to throw here. He'll rifle this one deep right. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Following the interception, Mayfield. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on 2nd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
Play fake. Mayfield. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A really good pickup of 28 yards. They go play action here on first down. Over the middle, and it's caught. Keenan Allen. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one goes for 24 yards.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the red zone now, Mayfield dancing to his left. That is incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
The first throw for the backup Lynch. Eluding the pressure. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Daniil Hunter able to get in and run him down for what will be a loss of 15 yards. Lynch now, work to do, certainly, after that sack. This is 3rd and long. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
Those really long field goals, when they are made, they are things of beauty, but there is a danger to getting them started, isn't there?
Yeah, with that low drive, you've got to really keep it low to the ground, don't you, to get that distance.
Yeah, hard to just pop it up in the air because otherwise it's not going to get there. So he's got to drive it low in order to have the distance, and that usually puts it in jeopardy, gives him a chance to block it, and everyone knows it on the other side. That's when you get your best jumpers on the other side of the field and try and get up and get it.
Throws right side, and that's complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. On play action, they'll throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Quan Alexander. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Wait a second, they did not accept that after the incompletion. Well, your look is just as puzzled as mine.
I got nothing for you here. You have to take that penalty, don't you?
It's free yards. So a poor return exacerbated by a holding call makes this 1st and 10 back inside their own 5. And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there, just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose a down on the grounding call. throwing. Lynch. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And he's taken down inside the 30. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he's trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw, so maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. A carry for Foreman. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. A gain of 3, second down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
They're going to look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Christian Kirksey able to get him for a loss of about 3. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Play action is supposed to be used to slow down pressure, slow down blitzes. In this case, though, if it takes a little too long to develop, you got people right in your face.
And lucky just to get rid of the ball with the arm going forward. Could have been a fumble. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing, but with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
And while it didn't work very well on that play, defenders on 3rd and short know it's going to be a quick read. And really, the quarterback's just going to turn around and hand it off. So that way, you're able to diagnose the play and try and get to the point of attack. But when you're dealing with a fullback, it's hard to knock him backwards.
Now Lynch. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter. On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come.
I have to think a major focus at a halftime means having to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Cleveland. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Boy, shifts past him. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
A very solid gain of 27. Here's Foreman. And he's got some space here. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
The Vikings leave the offense on the field as they're going to line up and go for 2.
Detroit!
They'll give it to the fullback up the middle. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Carlson now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Heading out is the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here?
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Out of the gun, Lynch. His throw incomplete. Brian Poole that time there to get a hand on it. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Now Paxton Lynch on 3rd and long. Trying to lay one up deep. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. Rolling to his right. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. This is caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A big play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Carlson now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, second down. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Play action. Now Lynch. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. The safety, Keanu Neal, there to make the tackle. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. This will be caught inside the 10. A very solid gain of 27.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll go with Foreman. Able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
Well, the spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the second score there. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great play there with now his 2nd touchdown of this 3rd quarter. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Carlson now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Play action. It's Lynch. And that is incomplete here. Josh Gordon, the intended receiver. 3rd down here.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. On 3rd down, Lynch. Open man, it's Allen. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy?
Detroit!
Now Lynch on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch.
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. The intended receiver there, Allen.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Now a play fake here on first down. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable second and short.
They'll run with Foreman. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he'll be hit as he releases it. And that'll fall incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. 2nd and 10 now. It's Lynch to Barkley on the check down. 23 yards on the play.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
4 down, check, 4 down.
They go play action with Lynch. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him. Throwing on 3rd and long. Lynch, he's going to air one out. And that one incomplete. Had some position, but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And he's going to miss this one. That is no good. Well outside the left upright, and this score will stay right where it is. So make it 2 missed field goals for him now, but I have the sense, given that distance, you could probably forgive him here on this one.
Yeah, this is out of the range of just about anybody on planet Earth except probably you, partner. But you just got to drive it out low and hope that somehow you hit it absolutely perfect. But no real chance for this one to go through.
And a nice carry there of 15 yards. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over this entry mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right? And he coughed it up! And they will take over at the 29-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations, big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Lynch to throw. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there, because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on fourth down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And Allen's got it. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. Felt compelled to go for it there on fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a fourth down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Now Saquon Barkley, and he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off around the 27. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Facing this fourth quarter deficit, felt like they had to throw the ball, and on the other side, they were ready.
No doubt about it. They're playing situational football. They look at the clock. They know the lead that they have, and all they're doing is playing pass on every down.
Playing the pass, picking it off, and now big time in the driver's seat. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He'll buy some time right. Open man here is Conklin. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. And that one results in 35 yards.
And they just hit another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
The age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. A beautiful fake. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And the Browns getting set to go. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be third and about the length of the football. Off the play fake. Here's Lynch. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Bird. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18. On first down, this is McCaffrey. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. On the tackle that time, it's Trey Waynes.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
They go play action now. Lynch. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. On third down, Lynch. And he's got a man open. That's Allen. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. And they pick up 25 as they convert on third. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. Keenan Allen, the intended target. And now it's second down.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. They come out here in the eye. They'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. It's the fullback. His first touchdown on the year. And the Browns make some inroads here on that deficit. And his kick is right through. So despite the huge deficit, they're going to keep fighting. Here comes the onside kick. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking.